Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. A few days ago, someone tweeted a graph that was books men like to read versus books women like to read, and it was based off of Goodread reviews by genre and sex, right? And it's showing, how many men review each genre versus how many women review each genre, and what it shows is that there are only 4 genres in which men surpass women in this, and it is philosophy, comics, politics, and graphic novels. And then everything else, women outnumber the men. It gets, obviously, like, the separation and the difference between them gets larger and larger. So, like, for science fiction, it's pretty mixed, and it's about 50% of men and 50% of women both read and review those. And then it goes down through, I'll read out in order, keeping in mind that every single one of the following, over 50% of women read and review on Goodreads, and less than 40% of men. And by the end, it gets to about like 2% of men, 1% of men. And that goes history, religion, science, literature, horror, classics, non-fiction, reference, novels, biography, adventure, psychology, short stories, thriller, travel, mystery and crime, poetry, art, fantasy, autobiography, memoir, Christian, fiction, humor, thriller and mystery thriller, mystery, suspense, sequential art and manga, historical fiction, fantasy, magic, romance, romance, young adult, children's, food and drink and cookbooks, animals, adult, fantasy and paranormal, contemporary, children's and picture books, adult fiction, erotica, romance, paranormal romance, women's fiction and chick lit, romance, contemporary romance, and then romance, historical romance, which the last 4 are like 95 to 98% of women are reading and reviewing. This is obviously based off of like how many people are writing and reviewing Goodreads things. And I quote retweeted this with just a very basic, so basically women read everything and men hate fun, which I mean, I think sums it up quite nicely because this does show that, yeah, like women are like over 40% of women who are like actively leaving reviews on Goodreads, over 40% of them are leaving reviews on all of these genres, whereas, less than 60% of men are leaving reviews on all of these genres. And for the most part, like less than 50% are leaving reviews, and it drops off so much so quickly. And the only ones that most men are reading are philosophy, which, let's be real, I think is including self-help, which is so funny because self-help is not a genre, and I know these men are reading those, and I think they're counting them as philosophy, which is hilarious. And then it's comics, politics, and graphic novels. There's the only 4 where men are outnumbering us. And so, I think that by the time you get down to like the fact that like less than 20% of men are reading just fiction in general, and like historical fiction, fantasy, romance, young adult in general, like contemporary romance, historical romance, like they're not like mystery, thriller, like none of that. They're not reading any of it. They're literally like not even in the fiction genre. And that's sad to me. That to me does read like women read everything and men hate fun. And because of that sentiment, this tweet got a lot more traction than I was anticipating. I usually get like 50 likes on Twitter because I'm out here just saying shit. But this has now got 260k likes, and it has 1.4k replies, and the men in the replies are so mad. Like, they are so mad. And I was like reading through some of the replies last night, which is always a bad idea, and it was just making me want to slam my head into a wall. I started replying to a few people, but I don't usually put that energy in on Twitter. And so I thought, what would be fun is if I sit down here with you and we read through some of the replies and slam our head into the wall together, because that way I am making money off of their idiocy and interaction with my tweet, because I'm not going to pay Elon Musk $8 in order to make money from their idiocy. I'm gonna take it over to here and we can laugh at them together, right? So this is me saying thank you to all these idiot asshole men for giving me content, and let's have a look at some of the things that they are saying. And if you enjoy this video, please do not forget to hit subscribe. I'm trying to hit 500k by the end of the year, so I really do appreciate it. Presently, I need to double my current subscriber increase rate, so if you aren't subscribed already, I would really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you. And let's read some of these replies and get riled up together, shall we? Okay, so the first one is, this man replied and he said, fun? Isn't it just different kinds of softcore porn? Which, by the way, is a majority of the replies, which we will talk about, of just like most of the men are being like, well, you just read porn. And evidenced by this answer as to why that's ridiculous is the genres he's included in the screenshot saying it's all different softcore porn. Adult, as in anything written for adults. Period. Fantasy paranormal. Contemporary, children's picture books, erotica. Okay, sure, erotica has some smut in it, obviously, it's part of the name. Romance, paranormal romance, chick lit, contemporary romance, and historical romance. So it's largely romance books, right? Firstly, have to laugh at obviously being like, well, all books written for adults is just smut. But you clearly are showing that you have never read a book. And also children's picture books. You didn't even, like, I know it was in that section of the screenshot, but you're not even gonna cross that out when you say that. You're not even gonna, like, cross out the fact that you've included children's picture books in a screenshot saying that all women read is porn. Like, bro, come on now. Let's be so for real for a second. Also, in general, the fact that children's picture books are there from women and not men, I think says enough there already, right? Like, who's reading to their kids? Not men, apparently. And obviously people are like, well, it's based off of reviews, so men are still reading to their kids, but they're just not reviewing it. But that again shows that like extra layer of women are taking the picture books that they've read to their kids and giving recommendations to other people. They want other people to know, like, this book was not good. Don't read this book to your kid. It's like, for whatever reason, or this book was good. You should read this book to your kid. Like, maybe men leave less reviews, but that means women are engaging with it more anyway, right? Like, that's a whole separate issue. Even still, I think this is still a good reflection of that, because if 60% of the men are leaving reviews on philosophy, I know that they are capable of leaving reviews. And I know that they are doing it. They just aren't doing it. Yeah, so, you know, also this is, again, the other thing, if so many of these replies are just being like, women just read porn. They just read porn. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. That's not anything necessary or good at all. And it's just romance. They're literally just listing all the genres here are just romance. Bro, if you think that romance equals smut, I think that you are the one who is consuming too much porn. That's just not accurate, right? Like, I read a lot of books that have like romance in them, or are even part of the romance like subgenre or genre. Most of them do not have smut in them, or if they do have smut in them, it is a very small amount. Like, there's like maybe 1 or 2 scenes. There's like a total of like 10 pages in the whole 350 page book. And again, even if it was just smut, even if I was consuming a lot of smutty books, why does that matter? I'm an adult. I'm allowed to read that if I want to. Like, you're out here watching porn, which is a problem in itself, because I know you're not consuming that ethically. Like, why is that fine and you're shaming me for like consuming my adult media in a more ethical way? Like, that takes me to the next one on those lines. Is this one person, this one just like made me laugh so much. He replied saying, no, we just aren't gooners and actually like philosophy. And you go to his profile and it's unsurprising. His header is like an anime girl with like her like boobs out. His first tweet is just me and you tagging someone again, and it's like feet from porn. I'm so fucked up with like soap squirted over his hand in a way that doesn't look like soap. That's his whole account. And he replied to me saying, no, we aren't gooners. We actually like philosophy. You can't make this shit up, man. I like can't do it. It's so fucking funny and so stupid. It's so stupid. Most of the replies are people saying, well, women read porn, but the other majority is men saying, it looks like men like reality and facts. Women prefer to wander in fantasy worlds. Also indicative erotica literature for the very most a female thing. Men are interested in systems and things. Women are interested in feelings and fiction. You can decide what's more important in society. And I find that really funny, again, like the amount of people who are saying this being like, well, men like facts and are like actually really smart and like want to learn important things. Whereas women like to waste time. There were a lot of replies being like, well, women just have more downtime while men work to provide for them. I can't find them and I wish I screenshot them, but there was like multiple that were saying that. To the first one of the men like to read facts and women, they focus on feelings and that's not useful to society. Fiction isn't useful. There's multiple points here. The first one being women are vastly outnumbering men on all of the nonfiction categories other than philosophy. And even then, again, I'm assuming most of that is self-help, so I'm not really counting that as being useful. Some self-help stuff, like, sure, is fine. I'm not trying to shame people who read like self-help stuff, but a lot of it is like, you know, there are people like Andrew Tate out there who are making that sort of book. So some of it's fine, a lot of it's iffy, but I'm not gonna call it the most helpful thing in the world, right? And like, okay, men outnumber on politics, but not by that much either. And then women dominate in every other nonfiction category, every single other one. So you can't come in here being like, men like information and women don't. Women are also doing all the information reading. Try again. I think it's really important to understand and emphasize the fact that fiction isn't unimportant. Emotions are not unimportant. Like, fiction is written to help understand the world around you more, right? Like, if you are reading and immersing yourself in other worlds, like, you are learning more about the world around you. You are learning about different relationship dynamics. You are like learning new viewpoints of the world, because books, no matter the genre, are a commentary of some sort. Like, all art is political. There is a reason this book was written. There is a reason why it's being read, and like it was written with a reason, and you may not understand that reason, but that doesn't mean it's not important. And no matter what you're reading, you are developing an understanding of something in a different way and gaining new perspective. And if you are learning emotions through a character, that is a good thing. Being emotionally connected and like understanding your emotions and communication, and like that is very important. I am actually going to say that that is probably objectively one of the most important parts of life. I think if we all were able to understand our emotions and like communicate that to one another, the world would be a much better place. So I actually am going to emphasize the fact that like reading with emotion, and like sometimes nonfiction work can be like emotional, like you can connect with that emotionally. Saying that that is better than fiction, I just think is completely incorrect, and you are completely neglecting the importance of that, especially when these men are saying all of this whilst also being people who watch TV and movies as though different. They're like, well, my movies are good though. Books, bad. Movies, good. Like, it's so frustrating, just like the generalizations of it. Like, people see that women are reading and they cannot handle the fact that we are actually like reading and engaging with things, so they feel threatened by it and try to make us feel stupid, right? And they try to like undermine us and act as though they understand. Like, the amount of like people who just diminish books that women read into like being nothing but like smut with absolutely no substance at all is like so astounding, especially when like talking about being like, I love to read, and they're like, oh, it doesn't count because you're fantasizing about fucking a werewolf. I'm like, how did you get here? Why is that where you are jumping to? And I'm the one with porn brain. You're the one who hears a woman say she enjoys reading and immediately jump to that. And you're not understanding that you are a fundamental part of this issue, and that maybe you are consuming too much porn, right? Like, if that's where your mind is going, that's a projection of you. Thinking that books that are very smutty have nothing but smut is also just not true. It's just not true. And are there some books that have like problematic messaging and can be viewed in kind of a like, oh, this is maybe damaging? Yeah, sure. But that exists across all genres, including politics and philosophy, you know. There's gonna be like problematic views being brought forwards no matter the genre, no matter if it's fiction or non-fiction. Like everything has different levels of everything, right? I just think that men like to brush off women doing this thing because it threatens them and they have to diminish it in order to feel better about themselves. Like they're not reading, so they're like, well, I don't want to read though, so I'm just gonna make women feel bad about reading and say that my reading is more valid than theirs, because then I don't have to do it and I can still maintain this position of power that I have. And it's so frustrating. Just pick up a fucking book, bro. And there's so many replies also being like, well, the reason men don't read fiction is that all the people writing fiction are women. Did you know that you can read books written by women? Hey, did you know that I read books written by men all the time? I read books written by men. I read books with male main characters, and I'm fine, right? You can read books that are written by women. You can read books that are targeted to women. I read books where the target audience is men, and that they are good books. I read books that the target audience are women, and they are good books. Like, you are doing this to yourself and being like, well, there's no male authors, so why would I read the books? Read the female authors, and also write then. Like, there are no male authors because there are no male readers. Readers become writers. The problem's not gonna fix itself. Like, you are doing this to yourself. Books are targeted towards women because women are the ones who are reading. Authors are women because women are the ones reading. Like, if you want books that are targeted towards men, you have to start reading. Otherwise, no one's gonna target them to you because you're not buying them. Like, you're doing this to yourself. It's so frustrating. This whole thing is so frustrating. All they're doing is, instead of just being like, oh, I should read more, they say that every single book is just brain rot. There is not even an ounce of truth in that at all, and nothing to back up that claim even a little bit, especially not when you're trying to use this graph to do it. Nothing on this graph proves that in any way. Like, is this data skewed because it is taken from Goodreads reviews? Yeah, it's obviously not 100% accurate, absolutely, but I think that on the broader scale, it is still a reflection of this, right? Like, I think that maybe the difference isn't going to be as drastic, but I think you will find the results are going to be incredibly similar, whether it is on Goodreads or just based off of like a survey done on the street. So yeah, this is what I did yesterday, and it was driving me mad. But, you know, on this whole topic of books and me, I would like to take this moment to remind you, let you know if you didn't know, I have recently just opened up a third channel called Kiwi Reads, Kiwi with a Q, where I will be talking about books. Obviously, I am a book enjoyer, and I've been doing a lot of reading recently of things that I want to share. I started doing book videos earlier this year, on my second channel, and thought it'd be fun to move across and do a whole channel for it. So I have done that. I'm excited to start posting there and sharing more thoughts on books that I love or conversations that I want to have around different media. So yeah, if you are interested in having conversations about books and media with me, then please do go subscribe over there, Kiwi Reads, and the link in the description as well. I appreciate it greatly. A huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons: Polar Bee, Sienna, Alicia, Marielle, Bree, Bay the Trucker, Chastity, Beckett, Prismatic Petey, Sushi Kawaii, Phil the Duck, Jessie, River, Queen Glimmer, Ella, Mr. Noodle, Radsack, Knitting Menace, Chris, Ellie, Alexis, and Bobby. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. When you close your eyes, you replace